going to start with the Bahamas Bowl, and we're going to look at Miami of Ohio taking on UAB in this matchup here. UAB was around an 11, I think, point favorite, somewhere in there, 44 and a half. What are you looking at here, Ralph? Some question marks around this UAB squad. Miami, Ohio, probably not as talented, but can't be sleeping on them either here. How do you approach this matchup?
Well, I give Miami a significant coaching edge. You do have UAB players under interim Vincent, who now knows he won't be around because they hired Dilfer. But I think the players still want to play with him. But I look at Chuck Martin. He's 3-0 ATS under RedHawks bowl games. Now, Miami's numbers are ugly. I mean, they played a weak schedule, number 113, and they're getting outgained by 68 yards per game. But you look at their season, you had a returning quarterback in Gabbard who was supposed to lead you to maybe a MAC title. He gets hurt in the opener, so you're playing a redshirt freshman who gets a couple starts. Then you bring Gabbard back. He gets injured again. And, then you have Avian Smith playing more. So what was an experienced quarterback throughout the season now has 8 starts under his belt. Yes, his numbers are ugly, under 50% with only a 9-5 ratio, but you have time to work in the bowls. I wanted to mention this fact. Double-digit bowl dogs going back to 1997 have covered 57.5%. They keep trying. There's not much motivation for the other team to blow out an opponent. It's a bowl-type situation. This game in the Bahamas, weather, a 50% chance of rain, but the winds are under 10 miles an hour, so the weather's not a factor. But in the regular season, double-digit dogs win 10.7% of the time. In bowl games, double-digit dogs have won 27.1% of the time. Now, some of that has to do with FBS teams that are 30 or 40-point favorites. You don't have that in the bowl games. But if you do like a dog, I do want to suggest maybe sprinkle a little part of the fun bet on the money line, because we will see some upsets for these big dogs. I am going to lead Miami in this one. Interestingly, Miami did have 2 players opt out, an offensive lineman and their best cornerback, but I still like the coaching edge here. I like the situation. They're used to being a dog in this role, and I like them plus the points.
Yeah, Dave, there was some reports there that the Trent Dilfer hire didn't sit necessarily all that great with the current players there. So rallying around here with Coach Vincent?
I don't know. I think that's a tough thing to gauge. Unless you're there, unless you're actually able to talk to the players. I don't know. I do know UAB is way more talented than Miami. The quarterback situation wasn't any good for Miami anyway, because Gabbard wasn't very good, and he never was healthy. He looked terrible when he came back this year, and the kid has played. He isn't good, and the MAC sucks beyond belief. It's a terrible conference. But there's one. I won't say it's an ironclad rule, but it's close to it. I won't lay double digits in these games, because the big favorite has trouble getting motivated for a game they think they're going to win easily. That's why they're double-digit favorites in the first place. So I think the motivational edge might be with the dog, but I don't think they've got any talent. So, I mean, on paper, I think UAB's the winner, but there's so much uncertainty. I'm going to just stay out of the game. I'll give you an opinion on UAB. I think they can romp if they want to, but I'm not sure they want to.
So it's a great point, Tony Mejia. I mean, it's double digits. Are you willing to take them with the RedHawks here, or do you think UAB, there's too much talent here to bet against?
Well, I think we'll see points in this one, and Ralph mentioned it. Normally in the Bahamas Bowl, you have to monitor the winds because there's some crazy wind gusts down there in Nassau. And this year, I mean, there might be rain, but other than that, it's a slight wind, 88 degrees. So it'll be, weather won't be a factor. UAB runs the ball really well. They finished I think 6th in the country in rushing offense. Dwayne McBride, their top running back, ran for 272 in the win over La Tech. They got them bowl eligible. Team ran for 406. I saw that Avion Smith is probably going to start, but Brett Gabbert pulled his name out of the transfer portal, so he might be a surprise entry into this. UAB, by the way, though, ranks 109th as allowing 6.8 yards to quarterbacks. So Smith is more runner than passer, especially if you're rooting for a Miami backdoor cover late in the game. That could be a factor here. And what was also referenced, you asked a question about reports coming out of Birmingham. Yeah, the team wrote, I guess, the AD a letter collectively and said Hopkins, what's his name, should keep the job. And were basically ignored. So I think that they will have a chip on the shoulder for this game. If I were to lay points, it would be in the first half with UAB. I think that there is a discrepancy in talent there that can wash out. And especially if you're Miami, you're without your best cornerback and one of your top offensive linemen with 30 career starts that both opted out and transferred entering the portal.
Yeah, it's get ready here, guys. The game's kicking off just a couple of days. Bahamas Bowl, UAB taking on the RedHawks, Miami of Ohio.